Default position, welcome back to the Roaring Peacock podcast where we talk about Leeds United. We've got a massive show for you coming up. We'll discuss the worst game that many of us can remember in a long, long time. That was Sunderland. Leeds 0, Sunderland 1. It was absolutely awful. There are a few little bits of news. Daniel Farke is not planning on appealing his match ban. There's club friendlies. There's Pete Lowy is giving an interview. It's all very, very interesting stuff. So stick with us. Please press like and subscribe and comment. Let us know you're here. That would be fantastic. So joining us to discuss all of that and much, much more. The sanguine sage, the peacock Confucius. It's Barney from the Cock. Barney?
You all right? I've only just found out what the word means.
Sanguine, yes. Optimistic or positive, especially in an apparently bad or difficult situation, which is...
Yeah. Sounds like a pasta dish.
That's where we find ourselves, isn't it? In a apparently bad or a difficult situation.
He's been getting more like angry and fucking miserable. I thought I'd infected him a bit, but he's definitely gone backwards this week. He's chilling out again.
Yeah, that's good. That is good. Yeah,
and
the white rabbit, the raw vegetable. Raw vegetable eater of himself. Big Mac, Prince of Darkness, Machiavelli. Macca.
Now then, you pair of knob jockeys. How are we?
I'm not too bad. I'm like surprisingly good. I feel like this will be cathartic. I feel like, do you know what? Default position. We're back to how we should be. None of this, comfortably mid-table business. We need peril. We need danger at every turn. We need awful football teams coming to us. Sunderland, we can just start talking about it right now if you want, but you should probably do the Leeds news. But Sunderland acting like a non-league team that have suddenly found themselves in the third round of the Cup at a Premier League side and employing all of the dark arts. It's horrible. It's horrible. How are you, Barnes? You all right?
Well, after that game?
Yeah, just in general.
I'm all right. It's back to how we are. Just expect disappointment from Leeds till the end of the season now.
Yeah, expect disappointment.
But we can come 8th next season and get promoted still.
Right. Yes, because of course the championship playoffs have expanded to 6 teams, which is what everybody wanted. It would have meant Gary Monk would have had his shot, wouldn't he?
Exactly. Yeah.
That's right. So let's rush on to some news then. Consecutive home defeats leaves Leeds just 3 points from safety after 29 games, but they still sit 15th. You haven't changed. Prior to tonight's clash, of course, between the two titans of the bottom of the table, Spurs and Palace, the Big Six club. Spurs, a very big club. Tuesday night's 1-0 loss is the worst spectacle many of us can remember for a long time at Ellen Road. The ball was dead for over 30 minutes of the second half. That is, wasn't in play for even less than 5 minutes of the 12 minutes of added time. VAR played a massive part again with Pascal Struijk clotheslined in the blocks. But that wasn't clear and obvious. Not clear and obvious. Tackled round the neck. Next up, Leeds host Norwich in the FA Cup, where Daniel Farke will sit in the stands. The club do not plan on appealing his one-match ban after he was red-carded for approaching Peter Banks after the Manchester City game.
Fucking approach him and I strangle the little shit.
Club friendlies in the United States have been announced. Leeds will play Wrexham in Tampa Bay on 25th of July. Here is a fixture to get the heart pulsating. Sunderland in New Jersey on the 30th of July. That will sell soccer to the US. And Liverpool in Chicago Soldier Field on the 2nd of August. Some nice friendlies in the United States of America. And part owner Pete Lowy has told BBC Sport that there is £1 to £2 billion worth of investment available to regenerate South Leeds if, and here's the clincher, Leeds City Council can provide the transport to the area, but he warned that it is now or never for for a tram system in Leeds. That is the news for this week, and we'll go straight into Leeds 0, Sunderland 1. Macca, do you want to kick us off?
No, we're not talking about football tonight. I'm still really annoyed about it. I'm got over it. I'm not happy. I mean, we were together. What a shit game! I was trying to think. Have I watched the worst game? Yeah, 100% definitely. So definitely around during the 80s. But there was a game. Me and my friend went. It was around sort of New Year, January time, and we played Bolton in the Premier League, and Gundy Bergson scored for Bolton. It was 1-0 to Bolton. It was one of the worst games I've ever seen. It was really foggy, so you couldn't really see the other end of the pitch. And me and my mate ended up taking half an at half time because it was that shit. We just thought better liven it up a little bit. So that's possibly the worst. That's possibly the worst game I've ever been to. Where I just thought, I don't want to be here. Give me some drugs. But I was pretty close as a 54-year-old sensible person now to asking you if you had any on you. And I don't care what they were. Fucking paracetamol, aspirins, bleach. It was one of them games where I didn't want to be there. It just the whole atmosphere. I mean, we were really, really poor. You can say what you want about Sunderland; they'll be delighted. Thought their fans were really good as regards loud and boisterous throughout the game, and sort of saw them through it really. And I thought Ellen Road felt a bit flat, but we were in the West Stand, which always feels flat. I mean, we said numerous occasions we're in the wrong stand here. Aren't we? We're not West Stand people, so you're not allowed to stand up when the ball goes into the opposition's box and you get excited and you want to stand up and see what's going on. It was a bit weird, but an apt place to sit for a game like that because it was just appalling. And I thought we were poor, not brave enough, not expansive enough, nobody taking responsibility. Just playing tippy-tappy, complacent. You got to sort of look at the games where, Chelsea's and Man City, where we stood up and be counted. It's almost like we expected just to rock up against a weak and, let's be honest, a very weakened Sunderland team with, like, literal children on the bench and just beat them just if we passed the ball around a little bit and eventually it'd come to us. And we didn't work hard enough, we weren't savvy enough, we didn't take responsibility. Can't think of anybody who played well. Again, it's a draw all day, isn't it? But they get a penalty, which sort of looks like a penalty. But just really poor. And they're just anti-football. I'm completely against that kind of football. I mean, it almost invites you sort of looking at how rugby union do things where the ball goes out of play and the clock stops. It's constantly stopped and you actually play the minutes that you're supposed to play. Because to get the amount of football, you're paying sort of customers, fans, whatever, watching that amount of football in play is it's a crime, really. As ticket prices go up, and this, we talked about what a product the Premier League is. That wasn't an advertisement for. If you took somebody to a Sunday League game or a sort of Northern Conference game and it was that bad, it wouldn't be a good advertisement for that, let alone the elite league in the country. So just nothing. It's awful. I mean, Prince of Darkness or not, I've usually got a few positive things to say. I've got zero positive things other than spending an evening with you and your mum, which was lovely. But I think the problem was it started badly when the seat was facing towards the pitch. If it had been facing the way, it might have been a better night. But yeah, shit, fucking shit.
Yes, it wasn't great. It was one of the worst games. Definitely one of the worst games I've ever seen. Barney.
I can't add much to that, really. I just think that the quality of the football was awful. Like Max said, I'm a season ticket holder, so it works out about 25 quid, 20 quid a game. Someone's probably paid about 50, 60 quid for that. And it's at the end of the day, it's an entertainment business. And if you're not getting any entertainment out of that, the Premier League needs to look at how football has been this season throughout the season. I just think that the referee, what I've found this season as well, and we said it about Arsenal, is that teams know how to play the referee, and the players nowadays are refereeing the game, not the referee. And maybe we are a little bit too nice sometimes. Maybe we should be shouting at referees to get something like maybe that penalty that we should have had. Maybe we should have said something about it, but we didn't. But I just think the referee was absolutely laughable. I've not seen a performance like that from a referee in a long, long time. I was getting really annoyed, but towards the end of the game, I was just laughing because it was just every time a Leeds player touched a Sunderland player, they were down straight away. I mean, when the goalkeeper went down, it was laughable, and it feels very much like teams know what to do now, because when we get on the front foot at home, we're in players' faces, and the teams can't handle that. So what do? They disrupt the game. Is it something that we need to look at as a team to maybe nullify that? I don't know, but I just feel like that whole night was just, it didn't feel right at the start. I think maybe as a fan base, we're a little bit too confident about that game, thinking we win this game, we're flying, we're looking at next season the Premier League again, and maybe the players were a little bit like that. I felt like maybe there was a little bit too. They knackered themselves out from the Saturday game, and you could tell there was some players that were on it mentally and also physically. So I think, and also seeing the results last night as well, it's got back to here we are again, Leeds, not doing it.
Yeah, I felt that we had a problem trying to create big chances, and you can see it on the stats. We've had 18 shots and 0 big chances. They've had 3 shots and they've had a big chance, and that of course was the penalty. I think the issue for me with the time wasting is that referees have a remit to stop it.
Yeah.
They are told, we don't want time wasting in the game. It doesn't add to the entertainment. It means we can't sell the Premier League overseas, and especially to people who, maybe they haven't seen football, watched football before. In example, in the States, where they're trying to sell soccer with the World Cup and all of these things, you're not going to entice people by spectacles like that. The referee can give a yellow card for time wasting. They don't. They never do it. They will allow a goalkeeper, for example, to waste time up until the 90th minute, and then they'll give a yellow card for time wasting. Make it make sense. Just give him a yellow card in the first 5 minutes, and then it stops it. Give them a yellow card for the first throw in, and then it stops it. But referees don't take charge of the game in that way, and that's what ruins the spectacle. And I think what was particularly arduous about it is that it was Sunderland. It was a fellow promoted team. And we've also seen Arsenal do that. We've seen Man City employ time wasting techniques, and that's annoying as well because they have spent billions of pounds on players, and they shouldn't need to do those things. They should be able to win, quote unquote, fairly or whatever. And when I say fairly, I mean, it is against the rules, but the referees aren't enforcing it. And so that's what the most annoying thing was. And then when the goalkeeper went down with a fake injury, after it had happened against Man City, and it got all over the news, and they didn't do anything about it. And then again, there was this whole thing with Ramadan. And what was the big news story in the media? Leeds United are racist. Not let's sort out the fake injuries. And then what happens? The very next game, there's a fake injury of a goalkeeper. Everybody's booing, and that turns out probably what most people were booing for. And in the Brighton game, the Arsenal keeper went down 3 times with a fake injury for 3 team talks. I did predict that this might be Whinge of the Week, the whole pod.
All combined into one. Yeah, we don't need that now. I think that the difficulty that you've said it, referees are not controlling games. You have to impose your authority. And if you can see that a team that clearly, which everybody could see, were time wasting from very early on in the game, feigning injury, going down far too easily. The minute you stop giving free kicks, the minute you book somebody early doors for taking a minute and 30 seconds to take a throw in, it stops, and they're not prepared to do it. And I think it's laughable that what they do is make a really big statement about this 8 seconds. I watch grassroots football a lot, and the thing that you've noticed this season is refs shouting, counting down from 8 the minute a keeper catches or collects the ball. That's not worth a shit if you're letting them take ages over a ground kick, ages on throw-ins, free kicks taking forever, corners taking forever. Somebody walks up to take a corner, then walks off, and then somebody walks 25 yards to take it. It's all bollocks. It's just, as you say, that product. I mean, my conspiracy theory is a lot of American owners, they're going to start putting adverts in when the game stops for like 3 minutes, or when a throw-in comes, they've got 30 seconds to put an advert on. So if you're being conspiracy theorist about it, why are they letting people get away with it? I mean, as much as I've complimented Sunderland, if we did that and shithoused our way, I wouldn't like Leeds to play the way they did and waste time and feign injury, because that's not us. I thought that was just despicable. But if we shithoused our way, whatever way it was, to a 1-0 win away from home, I'd be cool with it. But the point being, they were like a pub team. You think about it, they've got to 40 points, and that's remarkable for a team that came up through the playoffs and scored a goal to get them into the Premier League in the final in dying seconds, whatever. They're shit. They're absolutely shit. I mean, how they've accumulated 40 points is beyond me. I mean, clearly the home form's very good, and I've seen them play sometimes where they look, really good and at it and physical and, aggressive and fit, and they were really organised. Other than that, like a pub team, they were getting the ball 35 yards from goal and just lumping it up 40 foot in the air into the box. And it was like, what the fuck is this? So even when the ball was in play, they were awful, and they got a 1-0 win. I mean,
50 clearances. 50.
But there was I can't remember them stringing 3 passes together.
I mean, that is them. When I say 50 clearances, I mean they got the ball and they booted it upfield to no one. Yeah. 50 times.
And a lot of the Sunderland fans after the game were saying, we weren't going to play football against you because did they have 6 players out, somehow injured? So that was probably a lottery. The other players that don't usually get a game, but it's still not an excuse. They're professional footballers, and they've been playing in the Premier League all season as well, in and out. So I just think that's a really bad excuse. I just think that the way football's going at the moment, we've seen a new side of set pieces, which we like. It adds a different dimension to the game, but this sort of dimension to the game, like literally shithousing games, time wasting, that's not competitive football. That's showing a team that we can't compete against you playing football. So what we're going to do, we're going to shit out.
Do you remember when Leeds were fined £250,000 for not acting in the spirit of the game?
Correct. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that, on that subject matter, I don't know
the spirit of the game, by the way?
You worked your life. As a child, and sacrificed and committed to that process of becoming a professional footballer. To do that, fuck me. I mean, he seems to have the players really seem to respect him. He was stood right in front of us. He's an annoying prick, man. I mean, most French people wind me up anyway, but him more than most. So he was fucking terrible. He was moaning in the fourth official's ear. Despite everything they were doing, he was complaining to the fourth officials out of his technical area. He was going on the pitch. I mean, it's like, how dare you? It's like, have you got no shame? I mean, if you shouted it about 3 times, have you got no shame? It's like something out of a medieval fucking, so.
Look,
Channel 4 series.
You need the dark arts. If we go away to Old Trafford and we win on Monday, the 13th of April at 8 p.m, which is another ridiculous time change, by the way. But if we go and we win 1-0, I mean, that'll be the first win away at Old Trafford since, I think it was, apart from January 3rd. Then it was in the league, it was Flynn, I think, 1981.
Yeah.
So that shows you how difficult a place that is to go and get anything. And of course, it'd be an extremely memorable day. I doubt we'll be still singing about it like we do with the FA Cup game sort of decades later, but possibly, who knows? But we're a fellow promoted side, and it bordered on ridiculous. I'm not anti dark arts. I'm not anti football, but this was bordering on the ridiculous. They were throwing themselves to the floor every couple of minutes. I go back to it again. The ball was dead for over 30 minutes. Just in the second half, and it's not too bad. Probably it's frustrating, but it probably wouldn't be too bad if you're sitting at home in the warmth of your living room. But when you're standing outside at the actual game and it's freezing cold, it was extremely frustrating.
Drinking shit lager, freezing cold, working your way across Leeds in rush hour traffic to get places, fucking getting home, taking 45 minutes to get onto Dewsbury Road afterwards. Yeah, it's not what you do it for, is it? That's for sure. And I think you've got to put up with the rough with the smooth. But that, we'll probably move on to it. But a lot of that's on Farker. To play that team and that many defensive players in a team against a weakened, like you say, fellow promoted side at Ellen Road is embarrassing. I said to you after about 10 minutes, needs to get Metcalf and have two up front. Calvert-Lewin's not going to get anything here all night. They're too strong at the back. They're too organised. We need to shake it up, possibly go a bit longer ourselves. Graves knackered. Aronson's knackered. He keeps playing them. And they're not just knackered, they're not good enough. If people can say Aronson had a good month and he played well in 4 games, so what? He's played appallingly in quite a few and he's very average in the rest. So he just looked poor. So get him off. Stop waiting for 70 minutes, 60 minutes to change it. And then bringing on like 8 attacking players, it's like looking sublime. It's just, I don't know, sublime to ridiculous, whatever that expression is. I was going to do a Barney then and misquote a quote, but it's just crazy. I mean, have that 8 defenders on, 8 defensive-minded players. I mean, you could argue Bogle's not, and even Goodmanson, but they're still defenders. They're playing in defence. I think Jacobiol not playing is a problem. I don't know why. I think Justin's done great. He's clearly good at coming on when he's needed, but I don't think he's better than Biol. And that long throw-in is far less effective when Biol's not on the pitch. We're not as good at set pieces when Biol's not on the pitch. So at home, get him on the fucking pitch. And I love Justin. I think he's been brilliant, possibly one of our best signings. But we seem to play better when we had Biol in the centre, Rodon on the right, and Struijk on the left. So why do we change it? And then it doesn't kind of work as well, but we keep it because we've done okay. We've done okay, but we haven't fucking pulled up any trees. We haven't moved away from the bottom 5. We're still down there. We've drawn too many games. I just think there's a lot of issues, that. I know it's easy when you've lost to sort of, look at the manager. So it's not a case of I don't like Fark. I've got a lot of time for him. I respect him. I think, he knows the players better than us. But that's embarrassing to play against a weakened, loads of players out injured. They bring Xhaka on and he's still 0-0, and you kind of knew what was going to happen because he could come on and win you the game, run the game for whatever it was, 20, 25 minutes he was on. Well, put him out of the game before he can come on. Be 2-0, 3-0 up by playing attacking football and having 2 attackers on and some wingers on. Just, it played into their hands completely. And we were devoid of ideas and it looked shit throughout the first half. But we wait again until whatever time, it was a bit earlier, 55, 60 minutes, whatever. It's too late.
Wasn't brave enough, was it? I mean, that's what you were yelling.
The players were, not just blame Farker, the players were definitely not brave enough. They weren't taking responsibility. I mean, we've said numerous times, Aronson, the fullbacks, Stack, they were getting the ball in areas where there was nobody behind them they could turn, and they were controlling it, tapping it back to Rodon, playing it along the back 4, back to Darlow. The ball came out from a corner twice and ended up back at Darlow. What the fuck? Be brave, take responsibility, go beat a man and get a shot off. I think the only shot I can remember of any significant was Willis, where he's brought on at whatever minute it was and beat a couple, got a bit of space and hit a shot. Great. Why aren't we doing that in the first 2 or 3 minutes? Why aren't we? Let's be honest. The minute we conceded the goal, we played miles better and dominated the game, and we were just on the front foot all the time. So why aren't we doing that first? And then if we go behind or we get 2-0 up, then change it to be more defensive and try and control the game. It just looks a bit disjointed and like poorly thought out and just. We're in a weak mentality and not far from brave enough.
Yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because if we get that penalty decision, which we should have, on the 15th minute, and we score, we go ahead, and then it's a different game, isn't it? Because then Sunderland have to open up, and they have to come at us to try and get the equaliser. Right, 127 people on Twitter are watching, and 10 on various other platforms. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Jane says, evening all. Nora says,
Jane.
Hey everyone.
Knows it.
And Delboy says, evening gents, and gives a salute. All right, Delboy. A few of your comments. Sean Webster on YouTube says, to be fair, lads, we were anti-football versus Chelsea, and like Sunderland, we didn't deserve to win it. These things have a way of evening up over the season.
Yeah, but we didn't win it. We didn't win it, and we scored, we still scored 2 legitimate goals, and they didn't get a penalty that was disallowed. So, fucking hell. I don't think we were anti-football. I think we were contained and we were limited in our ambition. But we weren't feigning injury and throwing ourselves around up the floor and taking 10 minutes to take a throw in and fucking surrounding the ref every decision. I mean, the sad thing is Sunderland are Sunderland, but Man City, like you say, and Arsenal do it. And they're the top 2 teams in the league, having spent, £2 billion on football teams, and they still can't play decent football. They've got to cheat. Fucking hell, what chance have Sunderland got?
Yep. Oh.
I think one of the reasons is that I think there's too much at stake in football nowadays. You're like 1 or 2 games away from either being a manager being sacked, or 1 or 2, 3 games away from not being in the Champions League, not being in Europe, or relegation, and the financial impact that's going to have on that club. It's too big now. It's more about the business rather than the actual sport now. I think that's what's affecting what we're seeing.
Absolutely. We've turned every single game into a cup game, into a must-win FA Cup game, and that's why you've got teams like Sunderland, even Arsenal and Man City, playing like non-league teams in the 3rd round. Shane Wyatt says, reduce games to 30 minutes each way, stop the clock every time the game stops, and fuck anti-football. He says that. Good to see somebody commenting on Twitter, by the way. You lots of people watch on Twitter, but very rarely comment. So please leave your comments down below. Jane says, I thought they were still licking their wounds after the City game. Yeah, it was a bit drained, emotionally draining. Yeah. Delboy says, it's squeaky bum time. Well, it certainly is. And a couple more comments from Sean Webster. Good to see you getting involved, Sean. Sunderland realised that if they got suckered into a game of football with us, we would overrun them and win the battle. They did what they needed to get a result, and it worked for them. Also, you just know Burnley and Wolves are going to come to Ellen Road and do the same thing. Really, really grim. We should serve all their fans Madry as a
we have
means
this
of
conversation
punishment.
on the way back from Chelsea where, definitely give them all Madry, make them miserable, and stop them singing. Or
like Villa did to us, there was no bar. There was no alcohol at all. The tea was tepid warm, and there was only Coke Zero, watered down Coke Zero from a tap.
Sounds great.
Do you know what they should give them in the away end? Is proper John Smith's pint. That'll make you cry and shit yourself while you're watching shit football.
With a lovely creamy head. Rightio then, your magic moment.
Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Oh my God. Fucking hell. Good luck. I'm sitting this one out.
I think there's one very obvious one.
I can't think of what I always think.
Okay, well, I'll go with the very obvious one then. It only lasted a moment. That was the problem with it. Joe Rodon's goal.
Yeah.
No, that's what. Yeah, that's not even a magic moment. I thought your abuse of their bench was quite amusing, I must admit. And
thank you.
Yeah, that old bloke at the front in front of us arguing with their bench as well, giving that bloke shit was great. And that geezer who was bringing coffees the geezer who was bringing coffees all night. The Sunderland player kept walking past our dugout constantly, getting like Regis Labris. I wonder he's fucking digi as fuck because he was bringing him like a coffee every 20 minutes, and he was smiling at me into the crowd because I was like shouting abuse at somebody as normal, and I went, "Go get us a fucking coffee, you little lackey. Go on off you pop. Get us a coffee, knobhead." And he was like, "Fucking hell, all right." Yeah, that was quite funny. I think you missed it because you were shouting as well.
Quite possible, yeah.
It's not going to be long till I get kicked out of Ellen Road again. It's been a while.
Yeah, I mean, I think have you no shame when the 15th time that they faked an injury.
The guy that came on and went off, who faked, he came on, he fell down 3 times and got the physios on. That Traore, he was good. He came on as a sub in like the 70th minute or 75th minute. Came on, fell over 3 times, delayed the game, and then came off and got substituted. But he was brilliant. I liked him.
This is what I mean. It was ridiculous. It wasn't even. It was like beyond the dark arts. It was just so stupid.
They're not dark arts. They're just I'll do anything to win a football match, and I think that's probably going to tell. I think Barney touched on it before. Look at the Man City handball. Look at the Struijk potential penalty. We don't say. I don't. Arsenal, Man City are really good at it. Everybody's around the referee. It's not the captain. They're all managing the game. John McGinn did it at Ellen Road. He fucking reffed the game. Bernardo Silva did it for Man City. It's usually Ampadu, and that's what worries me. He seems to go through these phases where he's like withdrawn. End of the day, he's got to be in the ref's face for that penalty. Or Struijk's got to be look at it, demanding that they look at it. I'm not even sure if they did look at it or not. Speaking of shit refs, just on Ref Watch, I see Peter Banks had a good game again as well at St James's Park last night. So it's not just us being, it's all against us. They're just shit refs. There's no getting away from the fact. And I think VAR doesn't help because they're not authoritative enough. They're used to having their arse whacked and having their back covered by VAR. So they're not able to make decisions or assert themselves on a game anymore.
Well, when you see, some players like Cunha, for example, who gets a light touch on the shoulder, goes down like penalty. He's been shot by a sniper, and then that's overturned and given as a penalty. And then you look at Struijk, who was clotheslined. Yeah. I mean, he was grabbed round the neck and then tackled to the floor, and that's not clear and obvious. Like they spend 5 minutes drawing lines on measuring on the pitch, measuring people's armpit hair to disallow a goal, but getting clotheslined round the neck, that's the thing that they don't even spend a minute on.
And that's the thing for me as well, is that there's a lot of talk about the wrestling that's happening with the Arsenal corners. If that was on the pitch in open play, that the game would stop straight away. Like there's all this wrestling that's happening in the box, but for a corner, the referee's watching. They go have a word with the 2 players, carry on. Next thing, the players fall over and don't do fuck all about it.
Well, what is it? What I really hate that. I knew this episode would just be a whole whinge of the week. It's a whole whinge of the week. This is it. Yeah. But what does he talk about there? He stopped. Just let them play. If there's a foul, give the foul. But don't interject yourself into the game, wasting time and talking to the player. What are you talking about?
It's like watching something on iPlayer repeated all the time. And I like watching repeats.
Yeah.
It's literally the same process all the time with any corner, with any team in the Premier League. So there's the attackers attacking the defender. The defender falls over. The referee goes over. Then the defender goes to the ref. Are you watching him? Yeah, I'm watching. Next thing, he falls over.
Yeah.
And then nothing happens. It happens all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. What do they say? Stop pushing and pulling him. You can't do that. Just get when do they ever stop the game to remind the players of the rules?
Yeah, give a penalty. Start giving penalties. Like I said, they need to change the regulations, and I hope it sort of inspires somebody. We've been waiting a long time for anybody to take any leadership from the FA or anywhere else for that matter in football. But it's about time they did look at it and stamp it out and say, look, from next season, forget about counting 8 seconds when a goalkeeper's collected the ball. We've got to stamp all of that out, have more of the ball in play. You think about some of the games, when O'Leary was in charge and, blood and thunder, 100 mile an hour, everybody at it, it's a world away from kind of what sort of like the sort of golden era of football, as I call it. And it's a bit depressing because even if we'd have won, I wouldn't have come home and I think, great, that's another 3 points. We're probably not far from safety, but I wouldn't have gone, what a great spectacle, because it's just this kind of anti-football, and that's not just Sunderland. I thought, the way we played was very anti-football. There's no drama, there's no peril, there's no, let's take a risk here, let's gamble, let's push a few people forward, So I'm not just criticising Sunderland, but they deserve a lot of criticism. But the way sometimes teams play is just, it's fucking boring, really boring.
Yeah, we have.
That's my other conspiracy theories. They want
braver.
They want Man United to finish in Europe, so they're going to do everything they can to give them all the decisions, like sending off Archer. What's the kid who got sent off last night? Was it Archer? For simulation when he got contact with the keeper. The Cunha penalty. Trying to sort of keep the title race open. I think the conspiracy theory for us with all these decisions recently, Leeds are one of them teams where you either support them or you want to see them go down. So they want to keep us, in that fight because it'll keep people watching. I'm convinced that there's not a conspiracy against Leeds, but there's a managing of decisions to make sure that there's
maybe we need some tinfoil hats. Maybe we can introduce conspiracy of the week.
Yeah, that could be true. Yeah.
Right. Final thoughts on Sunderland before we move on quickly and never think about it again.
They'll be relegated next season.
Yeah, that's what I fully believe that. I don't gamble, but if I did, I would put money on that because they are so far overperforming their XG. It's insane. And historically, when clubs do that, they get relegated the season after.
Even the penalty was shit.
That's not it, yeah.
Oh, it's so fucking awful, man.
How Darlow didn't save that is fucking beyond me. I mean, it's like they can't even get a penalty and smash it into the top corner. You think, well, that was a good penalty. Penalty was shit. Should have been saved. Fucking rubbish. They're absolutely shit.
Everything was bad. The way that we conceded the penalty itself.
More quality on a fucking Sunday league game with some pissed up blokes playing. It was fucking awful. That's probably the final word on it.
Final thought? Yeah, Barnes, final thought. Was that it?
Yeah.
Thank God for that.
About it.
Thank God for that. So put your final thoughts for the Sunderland game in the comments if you want. If you so wish, if you want to move on, that's perfectly fine. Quiz corner.
That's okay as well.
Right then. Which Leeds United manager said this? David Ellery was that far away he would have needed binoculars. I really think it's about time we use the means to sort these things out rather than relying on a bald-headed bloke standing 50 yards away.
It sounds like a Warnock one, doesn't it? But it's too early.
I think it's... is it Peter Reid?
It's Neil Warnock.
Oh, thank you. Chapeau, yeah. It's exactly the kind of thing Warnock would say. I thought Ellery, I was sort of... Was he a Leeds manager at the time? Can't have been.
Yeah, not sure.
I think I was sort of trying to think of it was too early for his tenure at Leeds, but it's definitely a Warnock saying it. I can even see him saying it now, with that stupid Sheffield accent. Oh, yeah. I love all like that, me. I love all like that, me. Bald-headed bloke stood 50 yards away. Yeah. Come on, Sharon.
He needed binoculars. Rightio. The FA Cup then, the magic of the cup. Aren't we looking forward to the magic of the cup, where lower league teams employ all of the dark arts to do one over on higher league teams and play the best football and create a massive spectacle? Are we not just ready for that sort of a football match where you've got the underdogs, the chirpy little underdogs who might get a result? Leeds United versus Norwich City. Barnes, do you have some thoughts on the cup?
Like that, no? I don't think that Norwich should probably safe from relegation now in the Championship. Clermont, is it Clermont?
Yeah.
Clermont.
I don't think you can sing that anymore, can you?
Can you not?
Possibly
Gary.
Not,
no. Of course, it's Gary.
Yeah.
So I didn't put that. I don't have a banned list of things in my head. Unfortunately, I don't have the cancelled list.
The cancelled list.
Yeah, it's not a big priority. Cancelling things isn't a big priority in my life. Unfortunately,
You can't whistle two little boys anymore. You can't fucking. sing "I'm the leader of the pack," whatever. Yeah,
Right.
there's quite a few in there.
Yeah. Do you want to be in my gang?
Indeed. Not really. Not really.
I believe.
Yeah.
Not really, Gary, mate. No.
I'm a pedo. I'm a pedo of the gang. You know? That was one of the magic moments. Was when Sunderland fans were starting singing about Jimmy Savile, speaking about massive nonsense, and started singing about Jimmy Savile, and Leeds fans couldn't think of anybody famous from Sunderland to sing on back. Great. You know, like normally they'll sing, yeah, we've done Ant and Deck, he's fingered your mum, whatever. They couldn't even think of anybody famous to fucking sing about. Like, quick, somebody famous from Sunderland. Nah, there isn't any. Shithole.
There must be someone famous from Sunderland.
I'm finding out now. I'm finding out.
Come on then.
Oh dear. Who are these people? David Parfitt.
No, never exactly. I've proved my point. You've proven my point for me.
Ida Cook.
No.
Is that Captain Cook's wife?
Frankie and the Heartstrings.
Oh my! I told you, Frankie and the Foreskins. I told you, there's nobody famous from Sunderland.
Oh, the Futureheads. I remember the Futureheads.
Yeah, shit. He's got a talent.
Blimey, yeah.
He's got
We
a talent
could have
vacuum.
a few decent day and nights.
Yeah, he's got a talent vacuum, Sunderland.
That's your ambition in Sunderland. If you grow up in Sunderland, to have a few decent days and nights. Right, Clement. Barney.
Yeah, he's done a good job at Norwich since he's come in. He was shit at Rangers, though. I mean, he was proper shit at Rangers. But I think it could be a good game. I think it could be good for the players as well. Get some players on the up that get some players that are going to start that haven't started before. And I think it could probably clear some players' heads as well, just to reset a little bit, because the next few games in the league are going to be tough for them. So I think, because what I was saying to my mate Shane, who's already mentioned that, commented again, is that it could be a bit of a vicious cycle. We've lost against City, we've lost against Sunderland, then we go into an FA Cup, we lose at home again. That's 3 home games that we've lost in, and then it's that sort of vicious cycle it gets into the players' heads, and you want a stronger mentality to going into these last few games. So I think it could be good for us.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. I mean, of course, there are famous people from Sunderland. I was just joking. Bob Mortimer says
He's
Shane
not from
White.
Sunderland. He's from Middlesbrough. He's from fucking Middlesbrough.
Is he actually from Middlesbrough?
Yeah. But Nigel Clough, for example, Alan Ball. There's definitely
He's from Middlesbrough.
Definitely a few footballers. Jordan Henderson, of course, had a great career in
I'm talking
Middle
about
East.
anything other than football.
Other than football, Saint Bede, the monk.
Oh yeah, everybody knows. Yeah, I love his work.
Lewis Carroll. There you go, Lewis Carroll.
Is that Andy Carroll's brother? Is that Andy Carroll's brother or the author?
The author, yeah.
Oh.
He went down a rabbit hole, which is the White Rabbit. That's your new nickname.
Oh, back to come full circle. I said before I came on this podcast, I never had a nickname, and I've got about 12 now. I get a different nickname every 6 months.
Shane also says, "I'm scared that soon I might see some football played." This is goes back to what Barney was saying. Andorra says, "So was that a joke?" In reference to a magic moment from Norwich. Right, Norwich they've beaten Sheffield Wednesday recently, 2-0.
Okay, no, there wasn't.
They've beaten Leicester City, 2-0.
There wasn't. Same again.
They've beaten West Brom in the previous round. The FA Cup. So they are on a run of, I think they've won 5 of the last 6, something like that. So are you looking forward to the Cup, Macca?
Yeah.
You a fan of the FA Cup in general?
Yeah, huge, yeah. Like I say, if you're going to have a team come and shithouse you and try and do you at home and fucking do anti-football, it might well be somebody from the league below or even the conference. But no, I mean, I love the FA Cup. I've said before, I'm annoyed that it's not held in higher esteem and that people don't put more emphasis on it. You know, we asked that question a few weeks ago. Would you win the FA Cup and take relegation? Yeah. Yeah, definitely. A day out at Wembley, win some silverware. Like you say, 8 teams in the playoffs next year. It'll probably come straight back up.
Yes.
Um, I think that there's bigger implications to sort of relegation around the things you've talked about. Mass transit, the tram, investment in that area, getting stadiums sorted. I think I really want us to stay up. So it's a bit of tongue in cheek that, but I definitely want us to just have a go at the FA Cup. There's no, I don't buy into this. Let's concentrate on the league nonsense. I think football's a confidence game. It's a momentum game. It's a tempo thing. If you're in the groove, if you're doing well, and you're beating teams, and you're celebrating, and the camaraderie it creates, then it can only be good for the league. The league run. So I'd love us to see us progress again, and maybe get a big game at Wembley in the semi, and who knows? Yeah, love it. Can't wait.
Always good to get a semi.
Indeed. Well, you can these days, yeah.
I get a bit dizzy.
I think for the longevity, obviously, of the finances and all that, it's important to stay in the Premier League. But I do think we would bounce straight back up, and I think winning a major piece of silverware for the first time since 1992 would just be incredible. So preview. You got a prediction? Sorry, prediction.
I've been a bit shit these recently. I seem to get the scoreline right, but not the score. Although I did think we'd beat Sunderland 3-1. So,
well, if
I'm going to go 2-0 Leeds. 2-0 Leeds.
Well, we did have 18 shots to their 3, so we should have probably won 3-1.
There was some shitters in there, though, wasn't there? Some poor shoot. I mean, even Stack's free kick. He got some great positions for free kicks and made the right bollocks in most of them. So,
Barney, prediction?
I think he's going to
go. Oh, no, not again. Not again. Birmingham was enough.
I feel like the Birmingham game showed that the players that came on were good enough. And I feel that if he's going to choose that same sort of team, I mean, prime example, the other night when Perot came on, it just showed a player that is not playing enough football. He hasn't got that smash sharpness.
His cross was good, wasn't it? When they had all week to cross it and he put it out for a throw in. That was good quality.
The Jack Harrison cross.
Yeah, and the shot that he took, that was like a 5-year-old.
Maybe we could have a Jack Harrison award for the worst cross of the game.
Sorry, Barney. Yeah.
I just think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be an easy game, and I hope I'm wrong, and I hope it's going to be like one of those games against Derby away where we just ended up. They scored first, then bang, 3 in, sorted, on to the next one. But I just feel like it's going to be a tough one.
I don't. I think we're winning 3-0. But we have to score on the proviso. We score early. That is. Right. 179 people watching on Twitter. Thank you very much for your support, and various others on different platforms. Whinge of the week. Have we done it?
Fucking hell.
No, I've got a whinge of the week.
It's not about Sunderland, is it? It's not about Sunderland, is it? Please move on.
It's actually football related. It really annoys me. So, when after the game and all the players go around and clap the fans, that clap the players do, it's not like a proper clap. It's like that. Not even. There's no effort there. I mean, if you're really going to thank someone, clap properly. Not just like a little faint-hearted, like I'm going to tap my hand there just to show I'm clapping. I can't hear that clap. I want a proper clap that I can hear. I want to clap that a player knows that they've appreciated us.
I like this. I feel like a hard clap would be in the DNA of the club. That'd be something that would be required of any
a strong hard clap, like a strong hard tackle. You want to You don't want one of those faint-hearted claps. It's just like a proper
clap like you mean it, boys.
Clap like you mean it, exactly.
Brilliant. I love that, Barnes. I absolutely love that whinge of the week. Macca?
With footballers these days, though, they're probably going to really damage their lovely moisturised hands and their their manicured nails. So
it's a good
you've
point,
got to
but
be,
all of the moisturizer on there might make quite a nice slapping sound though if they put a bit of effort.
not talking about your OnlyFans page again, are we now?
Just for the benefit of people who don't understand humour, I don't have an OnlyFans page.
Oh yes, he does. Yeah, leather and oil, Oist Austria. You fucking look it up. Yeah, he loves a bit. He loves a bit of slapping with a bit of moisturiser on.
Wow.
Those were the days, my friend. Whinge of the week. We talked about incompetent pricks. Most of them have worn black or fucking turquoise blue in the middle of a football pitch. I'm going to say that most of my headaches in life, and I have a few, are caused by incompetent pricks. So whether it be at work or just generally in life, incompetency is ruling at the moment. There's too many incompetent pricks out there. They're causing delays in my fucking enjoying my life and intervening in my otherwise very enjoyable and nice lifestyle. So fuck incompetent pricks, whether it be Peter Wanks or fucking whoever that tosspot was who refereed the game the other day, or just the general public who annoy the fuck out of me. I'm at war against incompetent pricks, whatever form, guise, and role they play in my life. So just be warned.
Oh, brilliant. So incompetency. Is there a cure for that, Macca?
Yeah, but fucking slap round the fucking head, and that's the problem. Nobody gets that anymore. You think about it, if you just got a smack in the teeth every now and again, you look at these little pricks going around talking big with the zombie knives and machetes. You've got a fucking smack every now and again. You sort your life out. You grow up, it knocks some sense into you, reset you a little bit. So yeah, there is that, which obviously, as a 54-year-old father and husband, I probably can't do. So I'll have to think of a more strategic way, stealthy way of doing it. But we'll get there. We'll find a way.
I'll just say we don't advocate assault on the Roaring Peacock podcast, just for legal reasons. Please don't go around starting hitting people because you heard Macca off the Roaring Peacock tell you to.
No, I think it's just to point out that you're an incompetent prick. I think we should do it more often. You're shit at whatever it is you're doing, and you're a prick, and leave it at that. But be able to point it out.
But why do you do like a mum, like when she doesn't tell you off, but she's like really disappointed in you, and just like that? I'm just really disappointed. That really softly approach, and sometimes I remember when my mum used to do that, and I cried because I was like, oh shit, I've let my mum down again. I mean, it happened a lot, to be fair, when I was a kid.
That was on it.
But maybe do that sort of approach when he really.
What have you done, Barney?
Oh, I was alright.
That was only last week, Barney. That you cried because your mum.
Do you get the full name when you disappoint your mum? Does the full name come out?
Oh yeah, no, not the full name, but I know when I've done something wrong because I'm called Stuart, and I hate being called Stuart, even though that's my name. My mum calls me Pet usually, but when I'm called Stuart,
it's only.
Or when my wife calls me Dickhead, I know I've done something wrong, which is probably after every game of the weekend.
It's only taken 5.5 years for your first name to be announced on the pod. Yeah. So there we go. You've doxed yourself. I feel like I've whinged enough. What's your thing? We're on bloody 53 minutes, I tell you what.
Wow. My thing for all the chefs out there, Barney's a chef, I'm a bit of a chef. Have you used Resemi, Barney? From Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, I'm not on Instagram for any particular reason other than just to be nosy, and I like to have a little scroll through shit every now and again. Resemi is like, so on Instagram you see a load of really nice food, don't you? So I tend to like focus on food and music and you see some really good like guerrilla type chefs and some really great recipes. You can follow some brilliant I know social media and kind of stuff gets a bad press, but if you're into your food, you can really get some great ideas off there and some sort of new sort of contemporary menus and so on and so on. So anyway, I've been using the Instagram food stuff quite a lot, and there's an app called Resemi, and so if you see a recipe that you like on Instagram, you can save it directly to Resemi. So it goes straight into the app. So it's got the cookbook thing. So it'll show you the picture of the food and obviously have the methods to cook it. But also, this is the bit I really love. You can save the groceries to your recipe app. So instead of having to write a list or put it in notes or whatever, you just click on the cook. You save the recipe to recipe, and then you go into groceries, and then you save to your little list, and it brings out all the groceries you need to cook that particular meal. So it's a real convenience thing for busy people. And if you put the supermarket that you kind of go into, it tells you what aisle everything's on. It's fucking beautiful. So it's a really good, just, again, some apps are just not worth the kind of time to download them. But I found it really useful recently, and you can save like notes about the recipe, how you change it. It had a little bit too much of that in it. Add this. You can put your own pictures in there. So it's just for you, Barney, and others that are into the food and cookies. Write down recipe. It's really good, really useful. Keeps the kind of recipes that you've saved in there, so you can revisit it. And the grocery saving thing is just fantastic because you can kind of sit at home and think, right, I've got parmesan, black pepper, salt, but I do need all the rest of that stuff on there. And it's good app. So that's my thing. Being more positive than we've been for the last 54 minutes.
So instead of the word recipe, they've substituted a P for the letter M.
Yeah.
Excellent. Barney, what's your thing?
So my thing this week, Jonathan Ross has brought out a new show on Channel 4, and it's called Handcuffed: Last Pair Standing. And the aim of the game show is two opposite people. It's basically two people that would never speak to each other whatsoever. And what happens is they get handcuffed together, and they have to spend time with if they go for a shit, if they go for a shower, they have to sleep with each other as well. And I mean, the first episode was basically someone that owned a manor, and the other guy he was handcuffed was a former prison officer. This guy that owned the manor was a proper racist. He loved reform. He had a painting that Hitler painted. He was really proud of that painting. So, and this prison officer was like completely opposite to that. He absolutely hated everything about him. So it's about lasting with someone for so long before you say, no, unlock the handcuffs. And towards the end of it, you win a prize. So, I don't know if you've seen Escapes Across the World. So that sort of concept, but it was quite interesting where you see two people that would never speak to each other any time in life. So there was one guy where he's like one of those proper dickheads you see on Instagram, like really macho, and he's like one of those things alpha male, like shows his muscles and stuff like that goes with someone that's like promotes plus size women, and she wore a t-shirt saying fat bitch and stuff like that. You just would not put them together. It's quite a good sort of thing to see how it would work, and if people do speak to each other and stuff. So yeah.
Cool. And
what the dynamic of that is? What then that it's to stay together as long as they can, and then they can have to be released. Or?
Yeah, to see who lasts, and then they win money at the end, and then there's challenges along the way.
Might be that look bad.
And did the racists become less racist or more racist?
No, the first episode, he lasted half the episode, and the full-blown racist got some cloppers and just ripped their handcuffs off, saying, you don't tell me what to do.
Couldn't handle it.
It's quite ironic. It's quite ironic, isn't it?
Couldn't hack it. A bit insecure, sensitive. Oh.
Yeah.
I think more people. You look at that the kind of toxic and very, kind of diverse but often opposite views that happen on like social media now. People can't handle different opinions. When we were young, when you were at school, you had like debating clubs, and you could have really conversations about football or music, and everybody have a different opinion, and you wouldn't fall out or hold it against people. I think we've lost that ability to appreciate that people have other opinions, and we can have a heated debate about it, but you shouldn't like fall out. There was a thing today, I never remember his name, but the singer from Future Islands, and there was some post today. I can't stand him.
Andy.
No, it's Oh my God! Anyway, look it up, Donny. You're the researcher in the team, but he's very sort of performative, and his voice. He does a lot of sort of like grunts and noises, and he's very exaggerated in the way he sings. And I don't think he's got the greatest voice. He does a lot of stuff with a band I really like called Bad Bad Not Good, and it's really
Samuel
good.
T. Herring.
He's the man, and but that's fine. He's not for me. People love him. But I saw somebody posted a performance they did on Saturday Night Live, and there was people saying, "Oh, he's great," and I really love how he performs and how exaggerated and theatrical he is. And others were like, "Oh, he's a bellend. Oh, he's fucking, he's this, that, and the other. Can't stand him. It's all a show." And I'm thinking, well, yeah, he's an entertainer, so that's fine. And it's just like these conflicting views where you can't just go, "I'm not a big fan, this is why," or I love him because of this, and have a little debate. It's all really like aggressive and kind of quite just divisive, and I think we've lost that ability. So I can't watch the guy when he sings live. He's got a great voice and what have you, and I like some of the songs, but I literally can't watch him perform. But I'm not going to go in and like 2-foot him on social media, and equally, I'm not going to like suck him off because I want to be like one of the cool kids. You know what I mean? So it's just like just have an opinion and stick with it, and yeah, just be cool, man. Relax. And have a Solero.
Have a Solero. Go and touch some grass.
Wait a minute, what's going on here? I'm fluent I'm foolish in 8 languages, but I don't know what that means. On the
Sanguine Sage. Yeah, we have had an odd Russian comment, but I can't actually. I've tried to check and see if it's on YouTube, but it isn't there. So, yeah. I don't know what to.
Somebody's OnlyFans page. I think we've got some attention for your OnlyFans page, doesn't it?
I don't know what to say about that. I don't know what to say about that Russian comment. Probably best that we not talk about it. My thing. So saw a good film last night. It was 28 days later. 28 years later, should I say? The Bone Temple.
Yeah.
Very good. Very, very good. The second in the new trilogy by, what's his name? Danny somebody or other? Boyle. That's it, Barnes. Yeah, just really, really great acting. Great storyline. Yeah, just loved the story of the Doctor, and yeah, he's sort of gone quietly mad over the 28 years since the virus has taken a hold. And Ralph Fiennes, exactly, yeah, and he's sort of he's a little bit gory. Yeah, there is a guy gets his head ripped off, and the head with the spine still attached is
that the Alpha? The Alpha,
yeah, Samson. Yeah, there's some iconic moments. There's some iconic characters. There's great music. That at one point there's what's the Iron Maiden gets a play.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a really entertaining. It's a really good movie. There's more Russian comments coming in. This is ridiculous.
Do you know what the first one? Do you know what the first one translates as? The fascist West will never understand. What kind of algorithm?
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. The fascist West will never understand. Okay. All right. Listen, we've got...
And the next one is, what the hell am I doing in this chat? Fucking hell. Well, if you've got to ask yourself that question, we can't help you.
Listen, thank you for creating a bit of engagement for us and the channel. I can't help you with your topics, but good luck. Good luck to yourself.
Thanks for dropping in now. Off you fuck.
Yeah, we don't wish any harm upon anybody. We just want the world to live in peace.
Yeah. Let's all hold hands and sing Kumbaya.
That's right.
Do you know that 28 days later? So obviously we watched 28 days later and
28 weeks later. And
28 weeks later, yeah. And I was dead against any more weeks later, 28 or otherwise. And then my son and his mates watched the 28 years later, the first one.
Yeah.
And I got into it. I was like, "Oh, this is actually quite good."
Yeah.
I mean, they were shitting themselves. When they're running across that the bridge back to, it's almost like Holy Island, isn't it, where the tide
Yes.
covers the road over.
Yeah.
They were like all twitching, like, and drop the little boy and da 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 da. And the little boy in that who turned out to be, I never remember, is it Paddy O'Connell or Paddy Cronin or whatever? Not Paddy Cronin. The guy who's like the main character who looks Jimmy Savile-esque, to be honest, in that gang.
That guy.
No, in the new one, the Bone Temple. He came in right at the end of the last 28 years later.
Yeah.
And he's in a really good series that's on BBC iPlayer called Rogue SAS. He's Paddy Mayne in it. He's like the Irish.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
I've got his name now. He's got a very Irish name again, but he's
Jack
he's
O'Connell.
Jack O'Connell. He's a great actor as well. So I'm really looking forward to watching that, because right at the end of the last one, he kind of came in and saved the little boy. Saved the boy who was in the previous version. And I thought,
spoiler alert.
Yeah, how's it stopped there when these look like really cool characters to build on? But obviously, they built the next sort of episode on it. So, yeah, I'm quite looking forward to watching that.
Yeah, it's great. Fantastic. All right, a few more of your comments and then we will leave. Sean Webster said it would be very highbrow singing about Lewis Carroll.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You'll never sing that.
Yeah, Lewis Carroll, he's gone down a hole.
A little hole.
A niche Alice in Wonderland. Get some signs printed or business cards. We can hand them out. I think that's incompetency in relation to your whinge of the week, Macca. Del Boy says Barney's mum told him to stop hanging around with Mac. He's a bad influence.
True story. She called him by his full name then as well, his middle name and everything.
We won't dox Barney like that. Furry handcuffs or ordinary?
Stop it, Jane.
Says Jane. We've already discussed what the Russian comments were. Del Boy is agreeing with you, and he says, be careful how you speak to the Russians. He's probably hacking you as we speak.
Good to know. Thanks, Del.
Fantastic. Not a lot to hack, to be honest. We're pretty much as we come.
Hope it doesn't get into Barney's search history. Megan Fox.
just a few slowly aging blokes, Leeds fans, get artificially aged from watching Leeds United. Rightio, that's your lot for this week. It's been an absolute joy and a pleasure to discuss one of the worst games that any of us have ever seen. We'll see you again next week for hopefully one of the better games that we'll see, and hopefully Leeds United progressing in the